It was 2:47 a.m., that desolate hour when the world outside feels hushed and your own thoughts amplify. Sarah, a young woman with a penchant for late-night scrolls, found herself lost in the digital abyss, the soft glow of her phone screen illuminating her face in the otherwise dark room. She lived alone, a fact that usually brought her comfort, a sense of serene independence. But tonight, a creeping unease had begun to settle in, a subtle shift in the air that prickled at her skin. A sharp buzz vibrated her hand, startling her slightly. A notification. You've been tagged in a photo. Sarah frowned, her brow furrowing in confusion. Who would be tagging her at this hour? And why? Her friends were usually asleep, or at least respectful enough not to bother her with late-night social media updates. Curiosity, laced with a faint annoyance, prompted her to tap the screen. What she saw next made her blood run cold, freezing her in the quiet stillness of her bedroom. The image that loaded was undeniably her. Asleep, in her bed. The angle was off, though unsettlingly so. It was taken from the corner of her room, high up, a vantage point no one she knew had access to. Her duvet was pulled up to her chin, her face serene in slumber, oblivious to the unseen observer. A profound shiver traced its way down her spine. This wasn't a prank. This was impossible. The username. It was her own username that had tagged her. A glitch? A hack? Or something far, far worse? Her breath hitched, catching in her throat. Slowly, her eyes darted from the glowing screen to the shadowy corner of her room. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating, each second feeling like an eternity. There was nothing there, just shadows, deepening and shifting with every beat of her frantic heart. Her mind raced, grasping for rational explanations, desperate to dispel the growing terror. A reflection? A trick of the light? But the photo was too clear, too undeniably real. The sheer audacity of it, the invasion of her most private space, made bile rise in her throat, a bitter taste of pure dread. She squeezed her eyes shut, then opened them again, as if to reset her vision, to erase the impossible image. But it remained, burned into her retina, an indelible mark of violation. Her phone suddenly felt like a block of ice in her trembling hand, heavy and menacing. Every creak of the old house, every whisper of the wind outside, seemed amplified, imbued with a sinister intent. She pulled her knees to her chest, hugging them tight, trying to make herself small, invisible, hoping to disappear into the covers. Just as she was trying to convince herself it was a twisted dream, a nightmare from which she would soon wake, another buzz. Louder this time, more insistent, vibrating through the quiet room. Her eyes snapped to the screen, a fresh wave of panic washing over her. You've been tagged in a live video. Her heart didn't just freeze. It plummeted into an abyss of absolute terror. A live video? Now, the username again. Her own. With a dread so profound it felt like a physical blow, she stared at the thumbnail. It showed her, still sitting on the bed, just as she was now, phone in hand, face pale with terror. But in the background, emerging from the very corner she had just scrutinized, a dark, elongated hand, impossibly long fingers, was slowly, deliberately, reaching towards her shoulder. It was moving, in real time. The screen was a mirror, reflecting her current horror, but with an added, monstrous detail that threatened to shatter her sanity. A primal, guttural scream tore from her throat, raw and desperate, echoing in the confined space. The phone slipped from her grasp, clattering to the floor, its screen still alive, still broadcasting the unspeakable. She scrambled backward, hitting the headboard with a dull thud, eyes wide, fixed on the corner, which now seemed to be swirling with unseen malevolence. The last thing she saw before darkness claimed her was the hand, almost touching her. Police arrived the next morning, alerted by a neighbor who reported a piercing scream followed by an unnatural, eerie silence. They found Sarah's apartment door unlocked. Inside, the scene was eerily quiet, save for the faint hum of the refrigerator. Her phone lay on the bedroom floor, screen shattered but still glowing, still live streaming to an unknown audience. The feed showed an empty room, the bed undisturbed, covers neatly pulled back, but no sign of Sarah. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle, no fingerprints belonging to anyone else. Just the persistent, chilling whisper of the live stream, broadcasting to nowhere. The case remained unsolved, Sarah's disappearance an enigma that baffled investigators. It became an urban legend, a cautionary tale shared in hushed tones online, a mystery as profound as the empty corner in her bedroom. Like, share, and subscribe for more epic horror stories that'll keep you awake tonight.